Waterfall, the CCW podcast.
Hello and welcome to Waterfall. It's the water saving podcast brought to you by CCW. That's the Consumer Council for Water. I'm Mike. It's great that you can join us. We've got a fabulous episode coming up today, and we're going to be talking to Chloe Clarke in just a minute, who's a senior marketing manager who leads on behaviour change at Affinity Water, who'll be talking about their latest campaign, which is called Keep Life Flowing. Before Chloe joins us, I just want to mention that you can get in touch with the show. You can email us on podcast@ccw.org.uk. And you can also find us on the socials. We're CCW Voice. So please let us know what you think of the show. Give us your own hints and tips of how to save water. We'd love to hear from you. So let's just dive straight in. Welcome, Chloe Clarke. Hi, Chloe. How are you?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited for our chat. So yeah.
Exciting stuff and challenging stuff. I've been wanting to talk to Affinity Water for a while because your Save Our Streams campaign is very eye-catching. You're anything as Sandy Toksvig doing a stand-up comedy routine from a river. It's got to be a good thing in my view. So before we jump into your new campaign, can you just tell us a little bit about Save Our Streams?
Yeah, Save Our Streams has been absolutely fabulous. And I think for the industry and as it's really been the first big national behaviour change campaign to do with water saving. And I think it's been quite good because we've had a platform where we can talk about a number of different issues. I think the biggest thing for us is within our region, we have a lot of chalk streams. So that's where Save Our Streams came from. And chalk streams are really unique and really important for our region. We've won lots of awards for Save Our Streams, and it's really had that environmental focus to really get our customers to understand their impact of water use on our local chalk streams. It's been fab at driving awareness of water saving. We've exceeded each year we've had it, and it's been really good because ultimately our customers have saved a lot of water.
And it does what it says in the tin, Save Our Streams. And I think it does bring up an emotional response for people who have seen maybe pictures of streams drying up and things like that. Was that deliberate to zoom in on the streams aspect?
I think so. And as I said, within like the Affinity Water region, we do have a number of chalk streams, and we really wanted to highlight the uniqueness and the importance of them. We say a lot, and we've been out to schools and so on talking about and educating children about the chalk streams and just how unique they are and how vital they are. And they're often compared to the Amazon rainforest and so on because they are so important for us.
Certainly with the chalk streams, there's something that is that it feels very specific to Britain. That it isn't it 80% of the chalk streams.
It's about 85%, yeah, within the UK.
Wow, and you're quite right. I don't think people really appreciate that, just how unique and fragile ecosystem they are. So, Save Our Streams, that was your campaign, but that's not why you're here. You're here to talk about your new campaign called Keep Life Flowing. So, what's the difference between Keep Life Flowing and Save Our Streams?
So it's really building on the success that we've had from Save Our Streams, and I think there's more importance of water saving for a number of reasons, but ultimately it's great. Save Our Streams has been great for our eco-conscious customers and those who live near a stream or live near a river. But for those customers that may live in a high-rise flat or don't have the same appreciation for the environment, we want to now reach our, I guess, harder to reach customers or customers that don't have that affiliation with a stream. And really, we just want to celebrate the joy that water brings in everyday life. I think the biggest thing is the resource we value the least is the resource we depend on the most, and that is water. And I think just really highlighting how water is used in everyday life and just the positive spin on water saving. There's a lot of negativity around everything at the moment, isn't there? But I think it's really just celebrating water in everyday life.
Well, that sounds good, and you're quite right. Water is this thing that we can't live without, and we only really appreciate it when it's not there. Can I just just pick up on a point you were making about the connection with streams. So if I've understood it right, you're saying is actually there's people who, for whatever reason, aren't really making that connection with a local river or stream because of either where they live or just their backgrounds or whatever. And actually, by having a campaign that's broader than just streams, you hope that you can actually connect people with water in a different way, because obviously we all need water in all shapes and sizes just to live and health and stop ourselves being really smelly. Have I understood that correctly?
That's exactly right. So water is in everything we love, essentially, and that's the message that we say as part of our new campaign, Keep Life Flowing, from your everyday cup of tea, your favourite hot drink, to the food you cook, to the sport you watch. Water plays a vital part in everything we love, and I think it is just trying to educate our customers how important water is to everyday life.
So you're trying to make it super relevant. And we've consistently said on Waterfall, and we do have an extensive back catalogue to check out, and that it's good to be careful about water and how much you use all year round, not just in the summer. So why launch Keep Life Flowing now?
We always wanted to launch in the summer because that's when peak demand is up for water. But I think especially now, the UK is changing. We've got a growing population, climate change, more extreme weather. We've had 4 heat waves in the last couple of months alone. It's really the right time to launch this and show how important it is to act now before water stress becomes critical. And I think that's what we want to do now with Keep Life Flowing. As I said, Save Our Streams has been absolutely brilliant at building awareness, but now's the time where we need more customers to act, more people to act. And I think showing water saving being a part of everyday life is going to give us a stronger message to go out to all of our customers on the importance of water saving.
So this is we're talking now in the summer of 2025. It's August 2025. So this campaign, again, just so I to Keep Life Flowing, isn't just a summer campaign. It's a all year round thing. Is that right?
Exactly that. And as you said, it's important to save water all year round. And there's tips that we've got and we can go on to of how you can save water in the winter months as well. But I think a lot of people tend to think of water saving more so in the summer, and that is obviously when demand is peak. But there's things you can be doing all year round, such as pressing the eco mode on your dishwasher, taking shorter showers, and so on. These are all things that we can do really simply in our everyday lives.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you mentioned pressing the eco button, because actually our last episode, the one before this, was called Laundry Lessons, where we had a guest from Uswitch on talking about all that stuff. And then it's a really strong point, actually. There's things that are literally the only effort it takes is your finger pressing a different button on the washing machine, which really isn't a big effort at all. And so I'm interested in people's motivations to save water, because people obviously do need to be motivated one way or another to save water. How are you making Keep Life Flowing relevant to people, especially in our busy lives where we've got so many other distractions and things that are just occupying our minds? So how do you do that with so much noise and so much competition for attention?
And I think it's linking it to everyday lives. So as I said, where we're talking about water being a part of everyday life, it's across different cultures as well. So we use water for like baptisms, we use water, as I said, for in food and everything. So what we want to do is highlight the different scenarios where water plays a key part, so it can really link and people can have that personal connection. I think it is just, as we said, press an eco button. It is just one finger. It's not. It's showing how these really simple changes can fit into everyday life, and it's not a chore. It's not. We don't want to see it being as a burden. It's a really positive message and thing that we can be doing every day, just with simple switches.
Oh, that's interesting. You mentioned, I mean, I know you just mentioned it in passing, but you mentioned baptism, but that reinforces the point that you made earlier, that actually water touches so many aspects of our life. And we touched on nature with Save Our Streams. And then we were talking about, just we need it to stay alive and to stop being smelly. But also there are other aspects too, like a spiritual dimension there too. And we have looked at that in the past with the water and religion episode. But I think that really makes your point that water is just so ingrained in our lives in all sorts of different ways. But almost in so many ways that's why it makes it so easy to overlook. It's how people sort of understand its relevance. It's quite a challenge. Do you offer like tools to help people or other ways to nudge people just to think a bit differently?
Yeah, and I think that's really important. So when you look at some of the big behaviour change campaigns, such as recycling, one of the things that makes it easier is you are provided with the bins to recycle. So you're provided with those tools to help you make that change. And one of the things we do to offer is we've got the My Water Footprint quiz. So customers can go on, check their usage, and then there's personalized tips on how they can save water. And then they can also order water saving devices to help them save water at home. So water efficient shower heads. Another big one that people aren't necessarily aware of, leaks. So like household leaks. So I think it's 1 in 10 loos are leaking. So we have like leaky loo strips, so you can test if you've got a trickle, continuous flow down the back of your toilet pan. So we have these free devices. We also, off the back of that, if customers do have a small household leak, we have a free leak visit service. So customers can film their leak. If it's eligible, we will send out a plumber and get that leak fixed for free. So I think it's really important that customers have the tools to enable them to make that water saving. A lot of it, as we said, is things they can be doing at home, pressing eco mode, using a water butt to capture water, to water gardens. One thing that we've introduced this year, it's quite new, is our gamification. So we've come up with water saving challenges, so monthly challenges. Customers can go on, join a challenge, and then again we've got a spin the wheel where they can win prizes at the end. So I think it's about making it fun, easy, fitting into people's lives, and then having the tools to help them do so.
Oh, I want to know what the prizes are.
They're ranged. So we try to do them dependent on seasons, but we've had washing machine, we've had family trips out over the summer because it's been the summer holidays to local zoos that we've partnered with in the past and so on. So yeah, it's definitely new, and we can see the engagement growing across our challenges. So
Oh,
really
there's
positive.
loads of prizes that are worth winning.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone loves a good competition, so I like that. I've not heard of that before. That there's a kind of very direct. Did you say monthly challenge?
Yeah, and they are very new. We launched it back in end of June, so it's very new and something that we're starting to promote a lot more with our customers, just to show how water saving it is really easy. But I think that everybody loves a game, don't they, and an app and so on. So we've had a lot of customers return to do those challenges each month as well, which has been really positive.
Well, my energy provider that may be a bit a sea creature based has a random spin the wheel thing, and I find myself just doing it just for the hell of it, you know. So,
I happen
so you're
exactly
quite
the
right.
same.
Yeah. Your people just do like doing things, and one of the things I think is really important, and it's really interesting hearing that you're trying new things, to give people that knowledge or that little bit of motivation. Is that we've got to try different things just to see what works and what doesn't, and tap into to actually aspects of life that uh, we've may have overlooked, where we can actually just help people save water, and do it in a way that's non-patronizing and actually motivates and excites people. Oh, I want to win a new washing machine. Do you have to be an Affinity Water customer though?
You do have to be an Affinity Water customer.
Well.
You do.
Oh, I'm stuffed then. Oh dear. So I think we've kind of touched on this already, but with the answer to the last question, how are there other ways that you're making water saving more fun rather than just a chore? So we talked about the quiz. Are there things you're doing?
Yeah, I think the quiz and the challenges that we've got are definitely highlights and something new, and we're always trying to look for new ways to make it fun and exciting. Um, we are trying to work with more customers, and we've seen over the last couple of months we've had more customers commenting on social media with their own water saving tips as well, and I think that's key. Like people want to listen from people like them and their peers. So the more customers that we've got sharing their positive stories, I think that's really helpful as well. Really encouraging and motivating.
Have you had any sort of negative or negativity or resistance towards the campaign?
Not really. I think one of the things that we're trying to do as part of the campaign as well is to show what we are doing as a water company. And I think that's really key in all of this, is to show what we're doing, but then also showing it's everybody's responsibility to save water. We're doing X, Y, and Z, and we need our customers to be mindful of saving water at home. So I think that's one key thing to continue to do, to really promote all of the good things that we're doing as a company as well.
Yeah, I mean, that is absolutely one way to guarantee resistance. If the message comes across as, it's your problems, customers, people, you have to solve it. Like, clearly that wouldn't land well. So it sounds like your approach seems really sensible on that. I mean, obviously spreading the word. I mean, earlier I mentioned, it's so noisy. We live in modern times. How old do I sound saying that? But we live in times where there's so many ways to communicate. And there is a lot of competition out there for just your people's space in their brains. So how are you going about spreading the word on this? Are you working with others? What are you doing in that space?
Yeah, we are. We've got a schools program actually called Water Smart, and this all falls under the same umbrella. So we're going out to local schools, and we've worked with educational specialists to create curriculum-based activities. So we've got lesson plans, assembly packs, take-home packs for parents. So I think it's key educating our children as well. I've got young children, and it's almost that pressure from the children, isn't it? They come home, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. So I think just also educating them, we're more likely to listen to our children. And also our water use now is effectively going to affect our children in the future. So the Water Smart program's been good, working with local schools. We've just started to introduce, and this is hot off the press, working with Lego education on an interactive mat that builds on their STEM skills and coding and so on, to talk about water saving. Also partnering with local communities, and I think this is key. As I said, people don't want to be told by their water company or others what to do, and I think it's key to, if we can connect with influential people within communities, that's really positive, and they can help spread that message. Again, as we touched on religion, and we've got such a diverse customer base in our region, so appealing to all of our customers can be difficult. And I think where we are working more with partners and those influential people, that's really positive and really helping. And then again, influencers, and in the past we've worked with big influencers, but we found working with those more smaller influencers that are local within our area are really positive, and we've had really positive engagement from those as well.
How do you find them? Because I've always, if you did like a search on water influencer, there aren't really any. So is that a challenge?
Yeah, it is, and I think that's where it's key, is like we aren't necessarily targeting water influencers, but more lifestyle influencers, to show how water can fit into everyday life. And I think that's key, as we spoke about. We don't want to make it a chore. It's just these simple changes that you can do in your lifestyle. So even within like your beauty regime or part of sport and fitness, as we said, water's in everything we love. So finding influencers from different interests as well, or so on, I think that's been helpful.
I'll be honest with you, I found some of the things that so-called beauty influencers or lifestyle influencers have been saying about showers and shower length, with the everything shower, which can last hours, are actually
Yes.
very ill-informed and very dangerous. And I know I sound a little bit ranty now, but we could do with some influencers trying to influence in the other direction,
In the other direction.
constructively.
100%. And what I was going to say with the beauty influencers as well is, as part of a project we were doing on cultures and diversity and so on, is like rice water, and using that rice water, and that actually, we had a blog post about rice water, and it worked really well, and we had a few beauty influential people talking about how good it is for the skin and so on as well. So I think it is trying to find those other connections.
So can I just ask about this? I'm showing my total ignorance here. So rice water is water you've used for soaking rice.
Washing rice,
Correct?
yeah.
Washing rice. And then that's good for you're washing your face, or is it good for your hair? What's it?
I think both, to be honest. I'm no beauty expert, but yeah, from what I've seen, yeah, there's benefits to washing your skin and so on with that water. It's quite starchy and so on. But as I said, I'm not a beauty expert.
But it's really interesting that actually that is quite an aspect that maybe isn't obvious to people. What I mean, it certainly isn't obvious to me. And that's the sort of thing we need to challenge ourselves to dig into more, so that actually we can tap into the the whole diversity of the communities that we serve and that we live with. So I think that's really good. You're digging into that kind of stuff. I'm conscious we're running out of time. I just got two more questions. How can listeners get involved then and start making changes in their own life? What would your top tips be?
Yeah, so I think if you're in the Affinity Water region, Affinity Water customer, you can definitely, I think, signing up for My Water Footprint, where you can get those personalised tips. Our challenges, as I've just mentioned. But I think the biggest things are those everyday tips. Checking for leaks within your household. If you have a leak, get it fixed. You don't want to turn it into a bigger problem. But I say my biggest tips are pressing the eco mode on your washing machine and dishwasher, making sure their loads are full. If you can collect water, we don't actually have a water butt, but my little boy collects it. He's made his own version of a water butt and he loves watering the plants with his watering gun, but he fills it up from his own little water butt. So it is using a water butt to collect rainwater, reducing your shower time if you're having a bath, not filling it all the way to the top. So I think there's really simple everyday changes that you can do. We've got a number on our website of tips, so you can definitely check that out as well.
Oh, brilliant. So if you're going to take customer, check out their website to hear all about the stuff that Chloe's been talking about. Everyone else, so just check out your own water company's website, because all water companies offer hints, tips, a variety of free stuff as well. So check out what's on offer for you. Now, Chloe, you've been a fab guest. So don't let me down with our very last question, which is about your own personal water use. So we ask every guest, what's your own personal water use? So hit me with the numbers.
I mean, I have to practice what I preach, don't I? But it is around 115 at the moment. But we are on a journey, especially with my young kids, to really drive that number down further.
115, well, what the national average is 140 something.
Yes.
So, you're well below the average, which is good. And, that, as you say, you're on a journey. So fantastic. Chloe, it's been great speaking to you. Thank you so much for joining Waterfall. And I wish your new campaign all the very best success. And it'd be great to hear from you in the future about how well it's gone down. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.